Alright folks, thanks for joining us back here at the Range Report, and today we're going to be taking a little look at the Sccy CPX-3 380 double action only pistol. We first saw this pistol at SHOT Show back in January, and today we're going to take a look at it as Sccy was nice enough to send us one for a little test and evaluation video. And we're going to go through the contents of the box, see what you get for your $299 MSRP, and then take a close look at the firearm. Naturally, we've got a warranty information. It is worth noting that Sccy Industries is an American-made product, and all of their firearms have a lifetime warranty that is transferable, for those of you who might be concerned with that. We've got our instruction manual, and looking through this, we notice that it's full color, has very detailed pictures, gives you all the information about the firearm that you know. And here's the pistol itself. Child lock, naturally, and then we've got not one, not two, but three 10-round magazines, giving you a total of 31 rounds for your carry. And we're going to take a little bit of a look at the firearm itself. Now you have to bear with me for a second, as do have the child safety lock that's on there, and they do provide you with two keys. So we're going to take this off, get that out of the way, and take a little bit of a closer look at the firearm itself. Now this one is a stainless steel slide, stainless steel barrel, polymer frame. It is worth noticing that this is not a striker-fired handgun, but rather an internal hammer. We've got adjustable sights on here, which are the 3-dot variety. It's nice that they're actually pretty pronounced, because most of the 380s that are on the market have such diminutive sights that it's really hard to pick them up. These are pretty robust considering the size of this handgun, which is only about 3/4 of an inch shorter than the CPX-2, which is the 9mm variety of this, but the grip is a little bit smaller. All things, I've got a pretty decent sized hand, and this actually fits me pretty good. I can get 2.5 fingers on the grip. The relief cut underneath the trigger guard is pretty high, so I can get a finger in there. I get good grip on there. I don't have to reach or let go of my grip in order to hit the magazine release, which is nice. Now the lock back is right here, which is polymer molded over the steel. And the takedown method of this is through this pin right here. Now, it's not a typical takedown pin where you would rotate it out of the way, but you actually have to slide it out of it. They tell you to use a screwdriver or a spent shell casing, but what I found is that it actually comes with its own little tool. This little key can take the pin out. I'm going to slide the box out of the way so we can break the gun down. You take the key out. Take the slide off. You don't have to squeeze the trigger. It comes right off, and what we have is a captured recoil spring or a tilting barrel, and you'll notice that this just has a notch cut in it. There's no loop that the pin goes directly into, and then the slide itself. Now, when we first took this out of the box, I looked at it, and it was freshly cleaned and oiled after being test fired from the factory. But I looked at the slide just to see what it looked like, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with it. There's no real significant machine markings at all in this. It's not high polished, but there are no scratches, no additional reliefs in it, nothing. It's just a very nicely machined piece. And it's got some heft to it. It's got some good weight, which is going to help mitigate some of the recoil on this. And from what we understand with Sccy is the manipulation of the slide is actually pretty easy. And judging by how easy it was for us to pull back, I know that it's a lot easier than my Walther PPK 380. It's a lot easier than my Beretta Model 84, which is a 380. The slide just seems to go back nicely, so anybody with weak hands or small hands, you've got a pretty decent cut right here on the slide, which gives you a pretty good grip on it. All in all, it feels good, and the gun feels good in hand. Now, how it performs, well, that we're going to find out tomorrow. But some of the features that give us a little clue as to how this gun is going to function can be found in the name. And you'll see right here it says Roebuck Quad Lock. And according to Sccy, Mr. Roebuck designed this firearm to lock the barrel in place in 4 different locations. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. You'll notice that it doesn't have a belled barrel, but when you bring this closed, and we're going to point this at the camera so you can take a look at it, you'll notice that the barrel is seated pretty low inside the slide. And if you touch the barrel and you bring it up, you'll find that there's absolutely no play in it. It's designed so that when the slide is in the closed, locked position and it's in battery, that it's pushing the barrel down really nice and tight into the slide itself. So that's our 4th point of contact. The claim is that it's going to help improve accuracy. And again, we're going to check that out when we get this to the range tomorrow. But for now, we're just going to take their word for it. And like I say, you can see I have very minimal pressure. Racks pretty easy. According to the manufacturer, this does have about a 9-pound pull, and there is no short reset because it's double action only. This has to go back to the full reset position in order to squeeze off the next round. But that's also nice because it does give you double strike capability, which is always important. You know, having to tap and rack that one round that didn't go off is good, but just having that extra little bit of reassurance means a little bit to me. Plus, I also like the fact that that extra heavy draw does give you a second or two to really make up your mind as to whether or not it's necessary. And that 1 or 2 extra seconds can make the difference between whether or not you spend the rest of your life incarcerated or not. Something to think about. But like I said, slide release is in a pretty good place. Magazine release is in a good place. Everything is comfortable. Magazine slides out pretty easily. It's got a good feel. There's no shake, no rattle to it. So far it's promising. We're going to see what this thing does at the range tomorrow. We're going to be running some brass through it. We're going to be running some steel through it. We want to make sure that this thing can, eat and eject everything we throw at it, because if you're going to be carrying this, you want to make sure that it's going to be reliable. And so far, we've heard nothing but good things about the CPX-3, and we'll see where this stands when we get it back to the range tomorrow. So until then, stay tuned. We'll check this out, and we'll report back to you everything that we find. So until then, happy shooting, be safe, be well. See you soon.